All right, welcome back to the show, everyone. Hope you all are having a good morning so far. Today I wanted to check out this video. Actually, this was requested of me to check out. This one's titled LeBron was better, Steph was greater. And honestly, I'm intrigued right off the bat. This is coming to you from a channel called 3 Point Revolution. 2.49 thousand subscribers. So once again, I did not pre-screen this or anything. I don't know what this video is or anything about the channel, but it's one of those trust the community kind of situations. But I'm definitely intrigued. It's a short video, about 10 minutes, but let's see what it's all about. If I sound a little sluggish today, it is simply because the old boy Minecraft just turned 43 over the last couple of days here, and my friends and family really came through this time. So a little tired, but in a very good way. And I'm just trying to catch up on content right now because I didn't have much time over the last I'd say 4 or 5 days to really get my normal amount of work done. But we're here. If I've done everything correctly, then nobody would ever have noticed because I would have continued to just drop 3 videos a day. So anyways, you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to link the original video down below in the description like I always do. This being a small channel at 2.5 thousand subscribers, you know, if you end up liking it, I highly suggest you subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to do the same. I'm not subscribed. I've never seen this channel before, but I certainly will if I enjoy this video. You guys know how it is. I saw what happened over at Tori's channel, and like I was hanging out with a friend for my birthday actually, and we were looking at. He asked me to check on Tori's numbers, and I did. And his subscriber count was like blowing past 6,000. I'm like, all right, that's awesome. That is so cool. So anyways, that's the power of the community here. You also see a list of channel members in that description box down below. Shout out to each and every one of you for having my back. I really appreciate you all. And without further ado, like the vid, I'd appreciate it. Let's see what this is all about.
In all of NBA history, there's only been one player who you have to guard from the parking lot.
I don't know about you guys. I got me a nice cold Coke, ready to do this, ready to wake up.
The guy who changed everything without ever needing to be the biggest, the strongest, or even the most complete player. Stephen Curry didn't just dominate the league. He redefined it.
You said Steph Curry changed the face of basketball itself and how the game is played. And before we even got on air, you were talking about a situation with your oldest son where he had a chance. He's standing in the corner when he should have dove back in the day. But now that's what the game is. And that's kind of the Steph Curry effect.
Yeah,
as both true. Legends near the ends of their careers.
Why do I feel like he was talking to Gary Payton there?
Let's be clear. LeBron James is incredible.
LeBron James.
The most complete basketball player of all time.
Hey,
4-time champion. All-time leading scorer.
LeBron James, a shot in history.
All right, guys. For me, the most complete player, I think, is definitely Michael Jordan. The hard thing is thinking about who's number 2. Is it... I don't know. I want to say like Hakeem Olajuwon, but then like people are going to say, well, you can't shoot threes. So who is it? I'm curious. Put it down below. We all know Jordan's number 1. I mean, I think so at least. He does everything. But who would number 2 be? Would it be Bird?
Top 10 in assists. 19-time All-Star. And still productive in year 22.
By the way, can we go back to this real quick? Not that.
Top 10 in assists.
How is he top 10 in assists? Like, how is he not number 1? You guys are aware that he's number 1 in turnovers all time, right? Pass first guy. He's not number 1 in assists, but he's got the most points of all time and the most turnovers of all time, but not the most assists, but he's a pass first guy, right? So how good of a passer is he? How good of a ball handler is he?
19-time All-Star. And still productive in year 22.
Fair.
From 2010 to 2018, he held the Eastern Conference hostage. It
The
didn't matter
Leastern?
who your favorite team was. If you were in the East, you were losing to LeBron.
And then LeBron was
He was
losing
the
if we
final
were one
boss of a
West.
generation. A basketball genius in a body sculpted by marble.
He's now number one in scoring, and and he's going to move up in the assists now. Catching him and catching what is it, John Stockton?
Yeah, and Mark Jackson's up there too.
I mean, we'll see, but I mean, what he's doing, he is setting the bar pretty high.
In terms of resume, in terms of talent, in terms of sustained dominance, yeah, LeBron is probably better than Steph Curry. But this video isn't about who was better. It's about who was greater.
I like it. Let's go.
Let's talk about impact. Stephen Curry didn't just change the way teams defended. He changed the way teams were built.
Yeah, he did.
After the Warriors,
He changed offensive strategies. He changed defensive strategies. I haven't seen a guy who made a splash like this since Jordan, Shaq, maybe Shaq.
blew up the league in 2015 and 16, everybody scrambled to copy them. The Rockets turned James Harden into a one-man flamethrower.
Good defense by Kyrie. Water by James Harden.
The Kings hired Warriors assistant Mike Brown and tried to recreate that pace and space chaos. Even LeBron evolved his own game, cleaning up his three-point shot, praising the value of spacing on his podcast with JJ Redick.
I don't like that alignment. I'm more of a 3-1 guy. When I have the ball, I like my best shooter in the strong corner, either from the left wing or the right wing, and I like a 3-line assembled on the other side.
I don't know about the best shooter in the corner because he used to put Bosch in the corner and then he also put Kevin Love in that corner. I think what he means is with the style of play that he likes offensively, with the spacing that he likes, it forces the power forward and the centers out to the perimeters. That doesn't necessarily mean they're the best shooters, but that's the only spot for them to go because they're not welcome in the paint anymore.
Steph dropped and
Now Phoenix, back in the 7 seconds or less era, they always put their 3-point slinger right in that corner where Bosch and Love used to be, and that was very effective because there was always a lot of space right there, and Nash was great at creating space, so they got wide open shots. But yeah, with the LeBron offense, it was similar, but instead of running the dual pick and rolls and all that, it was more of an ISO system, and you'd have a power forward or a center out in that corner spot instead.
NBA record 402 threes in 2015.
Guy's a maniac.
That record still stands. That same year, Klay Thompson added 276 of his own. Together, 678 threes. Just two guys.
Yeah.
That year, the Warriors as a team hit 1,077 threes. The league average then, 818. But today, over 1,200 per team per season.
Yeah. I always say it's one of those things I have to separate it because I don't like the impact that Steph has had on the overall game, but I also don't blame him for that because it's a copycat league. So it's not his fault that everyone else is like, ooh, let's abandon our whole strategy and just try to win the way he did. You know, they kind of forget that Steph was actually and is actually a primary tool in that working. And also, what I find ironic is that Steph plays most of his game off ball, like Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, that type. Yet all these people that are trying to emulate Steph are playing iso ball, more like James Harden. They got the ball, they're dribbling, and then step back, double step back three.
Why? Because of Steph.
But that does show greatness. Just because I don't like the way the league has changed because of him doesn't mean that there wasn't a huge impact. You know what I mean? That is greatness. When everybody in the world tries to emulate your style of play, that is literally greatness.
Here's where we separate dominance from influence.
Yeah, because Jordan did it too, you guys. We were all doing post moves, fadeaway jumpers, up and unders, reverse layups. We were doing all that stuff because of MJ, shooting free throws with our eyes closed. So that shows you greatness. I never see. I mean, even Magic. I remember growing up when Magic was still healthy and active and playing. Dude, every passer was emulating Magic. I don't really see anybody emulating LeBron James, you guys, but I see every young person right now still emulating Steph. Actually, like to an annoying level. They can't shoot a free throw, but they're bombing half-court shots.
LeBron's game is majestic.
LeBron's
He's a
game.
6'9", 250-pound tank with vision like Magic and athleticism like Jordan. No one can copy that. It's not just about being great. It's about being relatable. MJ made kids want to fly.
Yeah, but that wasn't like achievable either. But we tried.
Steph made kids believe they could shoot their way into greatness.
I'm on the internet now. I see a bunch of little kids dribbling,
Yep.
shooting 100-footers.
To get warm, to start the game. Like,
But he's doing something for them. He's giving them a chance.
Yeah,
His
he is.
moves are difficult.
I felt the same way about Allen Iverson when he came into the league, because that was giving shorter people hope that they could do it if they were tough enough. So AI came in doing it the tough way. You know, I'm strong enough to compete with these bigger dudes, and I'm still going to get my shot off. You can't stop me. You can't keep me down. And Steph was like, I don't care how short I am, I'm getting my shot off, and it's going in. You know, so I do like it when you know, like a Muggsy Bogues or a Spud Webb or something like that breaks through and gives the shorter people some hope that they have a place in this game.
but
Not everyone could be 6'6", guys. I wanted to be 6'6". I came up short. I ended up 6'3".
possible. You can't teach height or genetics, but you can teach skill.
Yeah.
You can develop a handle. You can shoot until your arms fall off.
Mm-hmm.
That's why 7-footers like Wemby are pulling up from 30 feet.
He fires. He scores. Oh, that's a good sign.
Because Steph made that cool. He made the three-point shot sexy. And in doing so, he made an entire generation fall in love with skill over size.
It's crazy how that's cool, because that used to get you on the bench. You took one shot like that from near half court for no reason, without the shot clock running out. Your ass is grounded for the day.
If you're enjoying this breakdown, consider dropping a like and subscribing.
You know what,
It helps
buddy?
a ton.
I am. I'm gonna subscribe. I was worried this was gonna be like an AI video or something, but this is legit.
And we've got plenty more basketball stories coming your way. Now, back to the content.
Let's go.
What makes Steph's impact even crazier is that it's not just about how he scores. It's about how much pressure he puts on defenses without even touching the ball. He changed offensive spacing. He changed defensive schemes. He forced every coach in the league to ask, how do we stop a guy who doesn't stop moving?
Yes.
There were times when our bigs were down the floor and we got cracked and he hit a three. You got to be about perfect when you're guarding him, and you got to hope also and pray that he misses a couple of shots. But he's such a good human being. The basketball guys are a lot on his side most of the time.
Steph
Yeah,
doesn't
you think about guarding someone, and you think about when they have the ball, they're dribbling. How do I contest their shot? How do I get them to take an uncomfortable shot? Steph and Ray Allen and Reggie Miller, the problem is, how do I keep up with them? Because they're literally going to like run around for 20 seconds nonstop. And if they catch the ball with an inch of clearance, that shot's going up and it's got a high percentage it's going in. That's the challenge of guarding a guy like this, is just preventing him from catching the ball.
just create shots for himself. He warps the floor. He opens up opportunities for teammates. He turned Draymond Green, a 6'6" point forward, into one of the best playmakers in the league just by existing on the same court.
Yeah.
Basketball purists call this gravity.
You're not going to stop Steph Curry completely, and that's just the diversity of his game doesn't get appreciated enough. And let's talk about isolation. You know, he's led the entire playoffs for any player, points per possession in isolation. He was 96th percentile in the regular season across the NBA in isolation scoring. He can do everything on the court.
Yeah, I stand by it. Like, I always felt like that the torch should have been passed from Kobe to Steph. especially not just like it's for so many reasons. All these reasons that are being listed here, but also the mindset, the mentality, because that's more, you know, Steph is sending more of a message to the kids that I think is beneficial for them. When he loses, he's not blaming anybody. He's taking full accountability. He's not a coach killer getting, you know, 4 coaches fired, you know, while he's on one team, like a certain someone else that we know. Actually, a couple certain someone else's that we know. So he's not toxic. He's not a team killer. He's not a coach killer. And when they win, he spreads the wealth with his team. When they lose, he takes full accountability. Like, this is the message that I think is right for the kids. And that's how it's been since at least the 80s, since I've been alive. From Bird and Magic doing the same thing, to Jordan doing the same thing, then to Kobe and Duncan. And then it kind of ended with LeBron, because LeBron was doing his blame shifting and, you know, ring chasing and all this stuff. But then in comes Steph, you know? And Steph is doing it more like the Kobe way.
Call it basketball revolution. Now compare that to LeBron. LeBron's presence changed a game. You had to game plan for him. You had to double team him, trap him, build a wall. But Steph's influence changed the sport. LeBron didn't shift how youth basketball is taught. He didn't inspire a wave of players who played like him.
And yeah, flopping is not inspirational.
He was unguardable. I saw a video of Meta World Peace talking about it. He was in attendance. He said it was absolutely true as well. LeBron was obviously phenomenal, and, you know, he was the chosen one. We all know that.
Sure, you get some baby LeBrons like Luke or Avankera. Strong, smart wings with passing chops.
Would you guys compare Luka to LeBron? I don't see any similarities in their game.
But they're rare. They're unicorns. Steph, on the other hand, he made the impossible seem doable.
Shot up, no call that way. Curry flings it the other way, and he got it!
And that changes everything.
What is this
Let's
guy?
compare legacies. LeBron might retire with the greatest resume in NBA history. But Steph, he left a mark on the game that can't be undone.
True.
The NBA is now a shooter's league. Bigs want to shoot. Guards have to shoot.
See, it's not his fault that centers are shooting threes, you guys. He was the littlest guy on the court doing it. So it's not his fault. I used to blame him too. He didn't do this. You guys, he didn't send a letter to the league saying all 5 positions must now bomb threes as much as I do. No.
Holiday for 3. It's good! Drew Holiday!
Teams need 5 guys who can hit from deep, or they can't win. Even LeBron plays in Steph's world now. So when we ask, who is the GOAT? We can't just look at points, rings, or MVPs. We have to ask a bigger question.
Well, neither of them are the GOAT, but the question is who's higher on your list? Because I got Steph 1 up on him.
Who changed the game?
Steph Curry has done that for the game of basketball in terms of the jump shot, the three-point shot, the space that it creates, for the opportunities that it creates for the players around him.
This isn't about hating on LeBron. This isn't even about saying Steph is definitively better. This is about impact.
Yeah.
About legacy.
Impact-wise, legacy-wise, 100% Steph, in my opinion.
About how one undersized kid from Davidson changed everything. The way we play, the way we coach, the way we watch, the way we dream. There's only one player who made defenders pick him up at half court. Only one who turned three-pointers into layups. Only one who made the whole world want to shoot like him.
Oh man, look at that.
And that's
Jeez.
why, when history looks back, it just might say, LeBron was better, but Steph was greater.
That the impact is profound. And so when you look at what he brings to the table, from the free throw line, from the perimeter, in the open court, and how he has transcended the game, because now everybody's trying to shoot threes.
Right.
I mean, when you think about it from that perspective, I'm talking impact.
Yeah.
If you like this story, you'll enjoy our video on Caitlin Clark, the Steph Curry of women's basketball. And don't miss our breakdown of every Warriors playoff opponent in 2015.
You know what? I'm going to have to check that video out. Well done. Well done. Okay, first of all, shout out to comments. This is a great video, great suggestion. I love finding new cool channels like this. And so far, this seems like a pretty open-minded channel. Excuse me. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed this, and I agree with the message here. Because greatness is a complicated thing. Because if we're just talking about like better, I always say this because a lot of people can't separate who they feel is better at something, and then they convert that into greatness. It doesn't work that way, you guys. Because if that's the case, like there could be some dude locked up in prison for 20 years who's a better basketball player than anyone out here in the NBA, but we can't call him the greatest of all time because in order to do so, you have to go through the league and accomplish goal after goal after goal after goal. And in this league, with the high standards that we have from guys like Russell, Kareem, Jordan, you know, you have to win a lot of championships as well as score it, you know. Be the main guy. You have to lead you have to lead the team in scoring. You have to be a killer on defense, and you have to win. You have to stack championships in order to get high up on that list. But they're both great. I have Steph way greater. The way he's done it, not just the impact he's made on the game and all that stuff, because that one's a little bittersweet for me. But like I said, it's not his fault. But overall, he's been with one team. He's had a total of 2 coaches, and he actually defended his first coach, Mark Jackson. But obviously the Steve Kerr experiment has worked out very well for them. But 4 championships, 1 team, what is he? 4 wins, 2 losses in the NBA Finals. That sure sounds a lot better than 4 wins and 6 losses. And LeBron's been with 3 teams in order to accomplish that. So, yeah, he didn't ring chase. He doesn't blame shift. I got him. I got him above LeBron on my all-time greats list for a lot of reasons. And honestly, I didn't want to do it. He was a complicated one, you know. I actually had to have a friend of mine point out why wouldn't I have him above LeBron, because he knew like the categories that were important to me in defining greatness. And I was like, you know what, it's probably bias. Let me take a really good look at it. And once I did take a good look at it, I was like, oh yeah, clear as day, you know. Because back then I was still blaming Steph for the way the game is played today. But yeah, same conclusion I came with like Tim Duncan, you know, 5 rings, 1 team, all this stuff. But anyways, you guys, I got Steph over LeBron. I feel like I've made that very clear. And at this point, I know there's going to be a couple of comments that are like, you're dumb, blah, 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 blah. Dude, I've talked about why 1,000 times on this channel at this point. And I've broken it down. Those are my criteria for my all-time great list, which is my list. It's not your list, it's my list. So if you disagree with my list, who gives a damn? Show me your list and show me the criteria that you have. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, you guys, I am out of here for this morning. I thank you all for watching. Consider subscribing to the channel. What's it called again? 3 Point Revolution. If you enjoyed this video, I just subscribed, and I'm probably going to bring another video about Caitlin Clark to you guys sometime very soon. So anyways, thanks for watching. Like the vid if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. Let me know your opinions in the comments, please, as always. And most importantly, is to be water, my friends.